Are you ready? Ready to rumble? No, seriously. It's unicorn and dragon. Well, I can't say dragon gal, dragon woman. Lighting up the stage, shooting the vibes, and we're going to shoot some shit as we call in the breeze. Here we go, clearing the space.
I'm sending
Following
out
the ancestors, sending love and light. Kerrie, your day to lead us. Woohoo! Let's go. What you got for us, baby?
Well, hello there.
Oh, we got on those Harry Potter serious glasses.
My Harry Potter glasses. Ooh. I've not seen this aspect of you. What's next?
Oh, come on, darling. Where are we going today? We went down the DNA path, which we forgot epigenetics, by the way, but that's all cool. People know about those.
Well, Dragon Lady.
Yes, unicorn buddy.
After many reviews of our last episode of our real life, real world, reality, realness, I just feel like the place to go is a return to love. Let's just push that.
You mean you left it? You left that place? No, we don't leave that place.
Whatever happened in your day today, whatever happened in your life, just push that reset button. Come back to your heart spaces and focus on your feeling. How are you feeling, Juhl Lightheart?
Kerrie Stone, she that exists. I'm feeling really good. I am tired. I must admit I'm tired. I came straight off the back of a dump your stuff challenge, and that was pretty good. And then into the magical manifestation.
And tell us, what is this manifestation that you're speaking?
It was just using the light from the moon as well. The light's the biggest. I mean, the moon is the biggest mirror that we have, right? It reflects light, so it must be a mirror. Yeah, I mean, you know. And as light workers, when we're embodying light, or I'm not even sure I'm a light worker, but as a person who uses light to heal DNA, identify belief systems within people and whatnot, then as the light grows, because there is no dark, they can't find dark matter, so that means that there is no dark. There is only different levels of light.
There is no dark. Tell us more.
They can't find dark matter. How many years have they been looking for now?
Who's they? Tell us who they are.
Scientists and what do they call those people who have telescopes and things and look out at the stars?
Oh my goodness.
Even CERN, they can't find dark matter. They were exploding those things together, trying to find and create dark matter. They can't find it. It doesn't exist. There's only different levels of light.
So what does that mean for all of us in human form?
What it means is that when we're talking about balance and things like that, you know, they've always used the excuse there must be good, so therefore there must be evil to balance. It doesn't work like that at all. That's opposites. Opposites have got nothing to do with the frequencies and way we are living our lives, you know. It's more like levels. Something either exists or it doesn't exist. You can't feel shame and joy at the same time. So you've got to get rid of the shame to truly move into joy, you know. So, and as the moon, anyway, as the moon grows, it reflects light back to us. For me, that's a really powerful time, because the sun moves and gives off light during the seasons, and this has all got to be hooked in with our DNA, surely. How many years have we been on this planet in this form, in this physical form? And we've got these light receptors all through us, through our cells. So as the moon reflects more and more light, our intentions grow and are reflected back to us, which is why, celebrating on that full moon is such a good thing. Don't release crap into the full moon, because it's just going to bounce right back at you. Release your joy and your celebration and get out there and boogie, And if you've got crap that you want to release, if you're not walking on the earth, do that on the dark moon as the moon's getting smaller, so that your worries go away and they're taken away. Even though, I do kind of believe that we should be transmuting into the earth, as we walk on the earth. But at the same time, I think that, hasn't she had enough crap?
I feel like that's a great question to ask for probably every woman and mother walking the earth in these moments right now. Haven't we all had enough? And I feel that now is the time that we voice and we say no more crap. And to speak for Mother Earth, and to speak for each other, to speak for ourselves, and say no more. And I, for one, Juhl Lightheart, am speaking right now as Unicorn Woman, and I'm saying no more, no more, no more, no more. And the intentions that we share, that love is the lowest vibration, and that's what I'm here for. Until love is the lowest vibration, then I come and I stand before, and I voice and I speak and I show up in life for myself, for my business, for my friends, for the world, and I say no more. So yes, and I'm speaking to Mother Earth herself. No more
crap. Okay, so it really is time to get our spirits and our hearts together and raise that protest and have that revolution. And it has to come from us, because let's face it, what are those guys doing?
It has to come from us, and we all need to drop back down into our heart spaces. Everybody's up here, and they're in this left brain, logical, rational mindset, which is completely blocking the balance from the right brain, from the creative, the imagination space, but then dropping down into the heart space and feeling and being in that stargate of the heart, that sacred space. This is where we're all connected. This is where all of light exists and flows, and knowledge and awareness. And this is how you and I are even able to create such beauty and wonderment together, move energy together in these shows for the highest and best, and balance the earth in the way that we do, because this is where it's at. So yeah,
it is. It's totally where it's at.
Into your body.
Pull it open.
Drop it in.
Find it out. Yeah. And 100% on that. So, what I decided to do was I decided to turn my back on that. I don't feed into it with my energy. I don't watch it on TV. I unfollow people who start posting really horrible stuff, unless that it's got a solution attached to it. I don't mind, because I'm just walking out. I'm walking into a new earth, and it doesn't exist on my earth, and I'm inviting other people to come and join me. Because I don't get the chemtrails and whatnot where I am. It's quite, my space is incredibly clear. And I was watching a teacher today, Lisa Harrison, on deconstructing the construct, and it was quite interesting, because some of the things that she had to say about the levels of where people are at, and the levels that they've already created, the reality that they're moving into, well, I agree with that, because manifestation, and that's one of my specialties, as I know it's one of yours, Kerrie. Is that making that choice to come from heart is really the only thing we can do, because we can't fight. If we were to fight, we would be perpetuating and playing into their game. Yeah.
Well, it's all about tuning into a higher frequency and choosing to evolve or to connect. And to me, it's just conscious awareness and a choice. And once we're able to choose that, that's when we're able to live in harmony with others. And because I'm not around fighting. Like, that's not in my environment, but yet I'll go and I'll talk to a neighbor and he tells me that he grew up fighting. That was just his way of life. And so, you mentioned where your earth is at and what you're experiencing. I know that I'm, not involved in those ways. And I've met others who, they're a part of like a dog eat dog world where, you either bite first or you're going to get bitten. And that's not the vibration or frequency that I'm, living at, either. And so I just feel like that where we're at is just sharing the simple truths and these wisdoms of just how to come back into our heart spaces and to live in harmony with one another, just for the highest and best for all. It doesn't have to be the old ways anymore. That the illusion that people were under with the spells of the patriarchy for so long. I feel that many of those spells have been cleared, and that the illusion has been lifted because the veil is getting clearer.
I can see that, and it's like we were saying yesterday, thoughts create things. And when you're looking at all the time at the negative media, which blows me away. I'm watching these things on the news, which I don't anymore, because I'm looking out my window and it's not outside my window. Is it outside your window? Are there bombs going off outside your window? And I know it sounds really ignorant and disharmonious and not caring for people who have got bombs going off outside their window, because they have, but it's not in my existence. And everywhere around me and surrounding me is really quite loving. So it's like there's two different worlds going on. How do we bring people from that world to this one? Here, jump!
Well, and I feel like that everybody is just in their own timelines, and that everybody is exactly where everybody needs to be right now for what is going on in the whole entire cosmos, and this complete shift that we're in and everything that we're moving into. Because since the eclipse, yes, our roles have changed and the work that we do has changed. And but look at me, I'm still having to go into the belly of the beast of the court systems and to places that are not, where I normally exist and where I frequency and vibrate at on a daily basis. And so that's why I just know that everything is in divine alignment for where everything needs to be for such a time as this.
Yeah, you've got a real battle. Yeah, you've got a real battle though. And people do have these real battles. And I don't understand what they're about. I mean, what is this? Is this clearing out karmic trust? Is it or what is this? How do we expose exactly what is happening with these courts, that from the second you're born, a birth certificate's created that says that birth certificate is your death certificate? I mean, it changes exactly who you are. From that second on, you're owned by the corporation that you live in. It's tragic. How do we stop these things?
Well, I feel like this is just the beginning of wisdom, and I don't really know of a lot of American women and mothers who have gotten this far through the court processes I've gotten through, which I call the belly of the beast at this point, because I'm still trying to express and to share with others my experiences. And I know that there are some who are able to see this, and there are others that are not awakened yet, and they're not able to see it. But yes, literally, we are considered dead, soulless, slaves, and persons is what they describe us as, and it's a curse word. So literally, they're placing curses. Our children are literally being human trafficked. They're being infected and projected with trauma programming. There's a lot going on right now, and we are in disclosure. And since I unenrolled my daughter from government education because I knew that she needed her real education, I legally unenrolled her to homeschool her, to teach her what I had been learning in my Mastery of Consciousness course through the School of Metaphysics, and what I know in my heart to be real and true. And shortly after I did that, my life started really coming under attack. And then shortly after that, that's whenever everything just got worse. And I've been hearing a lot about the Draco reptilians, and now I'm starting to wonder and question a lot myself. And then I've been paying attention to Laura Eisenhower. And, you know, it is time to talk about it, discuss it, because I wonder myself. And I have people tell me that they've never even met anybody who's gone through what I've had to go through. And people just say, how are you even alive?
Yeah. I got attacked in another way, in that they came after it. They took, every legal move we made was blocked, and they ended up freezing our accounts and declaring us bankrupt and selling our house and whatnot for way less than what it was worth, and leaving us still in debt. And it was as if they were trying to force me in particular to work for someone, because I had declared myself sovereign, and there's no way I'm going back into that system. And the attacks became so strong that they when they couldn't get through me, because I had made that sovereign pact and I had gotten rid of all those, they came after my children. And I mean, my daughter, who was a top sportswoman, for example, suddenly found herself dropped from all her teams and excluded from the prefecture process, and then came under attack from actual teachers within the system. Where she was an excellent student, all of a sudden she went down to being just an average student. Things like this, things that there had been no alteration. And my son, he started self-harming and whatnot. And this was all a result of the pressure that our family was systematically placed under from every direction. I mean, I'd be driving down the street and being pulled over by the police, not doing anything wrong, pulled over by the police and breathalyzed, and sometimes twice in a journey. It's like, and what can you do about it?
Well, they rely on the fear, they rely on the trauma programming, and like you said, your son started having, and they rely on that.
Yeah. So what I ended up doing was I ended up withdrawing them from school, which they were really happy with, because by then they were miserable at school. Things were going really, really badly. And I started homeschooling them and bringing them back into their consciousness and bringing them back into the love that I had never wanted to release them from in the first place. I mean, from this, Ellie was always a golden child, and so they couldn't wait to get their hands on her. And then they almost broke her because I was out and speaking out. I was hunting down the pedophiles in particular in Marlborough, of which my family consists of a few.
What we're here for.
And that's when the problems really started.
Well, I'm glad that we're talking about it and we're getting it out because, you know, since the first target, you know, in my life, and then, you know, my daughter being human trafficked in the courts, and this is 2 years now. You said that they were blocking you. I mean, I have some of the best covering and connection and intelligent, knowledgeable people in my life, and they've been blocking me in the courts now it's been going on for 2 years now. And intentionally blocking me in the courts, intentionally lying to me, intentionally leading me the wrong way, giving me disinformation, purposely putting off getting my transcriptions to where I have on the record that my former husband tried to take out my life, and that people have tried to like take my life out literally, and that I'm in trauma, my daughter's in trauma. Police report after police report. And, you know, at some point I just have to say enough. I'm going public with this, and I'm going public with my life, and trusting that whatever is to come into an alignment will come in alignment, and what is needed will show up, because enough is enough.
Yes, it needs to stop, okay?
It needs to stop. Enough is enough.
And I think it's like a big mystery, isn't it, that the attacks on spiritual women, sacred women, stopped with the witch hunts. No, it didn't. It changed, and women were broken. And as we're coming more and more into our power, like the way they have treated Patty Greer with her cop circles, the way they have shut down her income and whatnot, just absolutely unbelievable way. And the sooner you see, I guess that's why I turned and walked away, because I couldn't see a new system arising from the old, because it is so broken, and it is so power abusive. And when I think back to how my Kundalini experience and whatnot came in, and the way that I was guided then to support the energy of those who were supporting what you were supporting, I think that was actually a really profound teaching. Love you.
Dragon buddy. Yeah, this is the voice of the divine feminine, and we're coming together, and we are sharing powerful truths here, and no more. There's no reason why anybody should have to come under any attack.
Precisely.
I mean, let's just choose to drop into our heart space and live from that space, you know, like just all choose it together. Like all at the same time.
I know, right?
Why not?
There's no reason why not. I said, what would happen if everyone in the world stopped going to work for a week?
Or just stop to breathe and be.
You know, people are so stressed out they don't have time to wake up. They're being kept so busy, you know. I think that's why teaching people how to breathe and to come into these spaces is so important. And I think that's look, and even then, you know, if we want to make a living from it, look at the flack that we come under from other women or other spiritual people. But the truth is, we spent a lot of years learning these skills.
Oh my, yes. And you mentioned one time how another woman mentioned like you didn't look professional enough or something like that. I mean, it was that time and that I determined in my mind that I was going to show up without any makeup. I was going to show up like in just my everyday self, getting out of bed. Because we're here to redefine that. Like, you do not have to look a certain way to have heart intelligence or to be intelligent, or, I mean, when is it going to be that the condition of our hearts is what we're known for, not just this outward portrayal of whatever, because there's so many masks.
And it is another mask, and that's, I had to really think into that because I have 3 girls, and to know that they are walking out there being perceived by whether they're wearing Lancome or Estee Lauder, excuse me, people who test on animals, excuse me, no, no. How is that? How have we allowed, and I'm taking responsibility here, how have I allowed this world to happen that is so far away from my heart space? And how can and I'm owning that for many years I think I bought into it. But if you want to look good and if you want to put on makeup, you should be allowed to look good and put on makeup because you want to look good and put on makeup, not because society has this expectation that you need to, or because if you don't do that, you're not going to make any money. It's like that whole money is mechanisms of control. Hey,
it definitely can control you if you are not conscious and aware of money as energy. And you and I have spent a lot of time and investment in what we know about money.
Absolutely. And breaking those spells around money.
Which is included in both my program and Juhl Lightheart's program, and we will be creating a program together, and it will be released sometime on the timeline, and the secrets will be included.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think breaking it to enabled. I did it on a world level, so yeah. But yes, but people still have to get rid of their beliefs. And the easiest way for that is to come into the heart space, open up that divine heart space, connect with the earth, connect with source, and it does fall away. Love you.
It does. Everything that one could ever want to know and imagine is located in the stargate of the heart.
Absolutely. Absolutely, buddy. You're looking absolutely gorgeous today.
Well, the unicorn is out in full array. I have been terraplaning. Terraplaning.
Terraplaning. I love it. Skimming across the earth. I can see you on your hoverboard.
Form. In fact, I pulled up a meditation before doing this, and just randomly it happened to be a horse meditation, and she said it can be a horse or a unicorn, and I was like, thank you, random meditation that came up perfectly for the Unicorn and Dragon Tail reality show.
Yeah. When AI works for you. That's it. We've got to take control of these tools. Our tools should be working for us, not working us.
AI has been working for me really well, and what comes through, I'm finding that I do not have to struggle for research at all. It just appears.
Absolutely, absolutely. And, other people are going on about synchronicity of numbers and, 1111 and whatnot. And I'm going, well, I'm lucky. I have synchronicity of knowledge. You can have your 1-1 programming, because that's, ones and O's, that's programming language for computers. It's all done in ones and noughts and whatnot. But I'll take the synchronicity of knowledge. Thank you.
Hey, They can have their 111s. You can have
Yes,
your
they can have you.
knowledge. My thing is I go out into the world and I get my mirror, the universe, the holographic universe of mirrors. And you know, I got 2 words for you. Soul Patrol. Patrol. That's what I got. Soul Patrol.
Oh, I wish I only ever had 2 words. I could never just find 2 words. Oh, I never just find 2 words. Oh, I got one.
It's how my divine parents gave me the message. Soul Patrol.
So I'd just like to remind people that I'm Juhl Lightheart, and this is Kerrie Stone.
I'm not Kerrie Stone, and I want to clarify that and set
I'm
the
going to
record.
have to, I'm going to have to delete that or something. I don't know how.
It's only because Facebook is a program, and I've tried to reach out, and that name has been dissolved. Schaefer is no longer a part of my vibration.
So how do we get rid of it?
And
How do we get...
Kerrie, also known as She That Exists, and
How do
Unicorn on the Unicorn and Dragon Tales. Hey, I have to be serious when it comes to Facebook. I mean, because it's a program, and I've contacted and reached out to them several times now and have said, you know, I need this removed. It's tracking. How they track you.
Isn't it a real, I don't really get triggered anymore, but if I was going to get triggered, it would be around programs whereby you go and you think you're going to get a person, but you don't. You know, it happens on the phone. You think you're going to get a person on the end of the phone, right? But you don't. You get a machine that tells you to press a number, and you get another machine, and then you get another machine, and then you get another machine, and you're going, are there no people left on the earth? And same with Facebook. You get in there and you think you're going to be talking to Facebook because it says contact our team. What team?
Well, that's why it doesn't bother me anymore, because I finally spoke about it on a Facebook Live, and I called Facebook out, and I was like, okay, Facebook. And so, but I have to let everybody know it's Kerrie Stone.
I just think of you as simply Kerrie.
She That Exists. And there's a story behind the She That Exists, because there's you know, to most people I shouldn't be here, but because of who I am, I still exist. I am, therefore I exist.
Yes, you do. And you're one of the most bravest, strongest women I know, and I really appreciate that about you, and I'm very grateful for your presence. You're a shiner. I love you.
Buddy, you totally took the lead in our challenge.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh, that's why I'm here now, because you showed up in the lead of the challenge, and I said, oh my goodness, this means that I have to like come out and do lives, and I mean, because everything is about authenticity and real, and where my life is at right now, I mean, I sat in fear and silence for a long time. So thank you for noticing my bravery and my courage. It's time.
And I think that's also what I want to get across to anyone that watches this. You know, if we can dissolve that fear programming, you can step forward and look, this is who you are.
That's what I say. I say I am who I am. And so there's, I mean, I see it as life initiation, you know, and now it's just my time to bring myself out and to offer my services and to speak for my life and my business. And there's no other field or profession that I would rather be in than the ones that we're in. I love these fields that we tend to with our hearts and love.
Beautiful. So if you're a lady and you have a soul mission and you're not working it, you need to come and work with us.
Yes. Yes.
Me at juhllightheart.com and Kerrie Stone, and I am simply Kerrie, and she that exists. Much love, guys.
We'll put the links up for everybody.
Hmm?
We'll put the links up for everybody.
Yeah. Have you got our song?
Well, I feel like everybody reach out with questions too. Like, give us some feedback.
Yeah.
Let's have a conversation. Like, everybody start talking, sharing your voice. Let's have some conversation, and Juhl and I will come in and we'll get this going. Get this rolling. Okay, so how does it go? Unicorn and dragon tails.